definitely good field position to start this this Monday game.
You know, we talked about it a few times during the broadcast Friday night. The Viking defense was very impressive. You just never know what to expect from a high school team going into week one. But the defense came ready to play, and I just wonder, what kind of challenge it was for the coaches to make sure that the team was ready to go, because, how often do you play less than one quarter on a Friday night and then come back and finish the game on a Monday? Yeah. I've been doing that. This is my 9th year doing Viking football, and I've certainly never seen it.
Yeah, that's definitely unheard of. So, I think the young coaches that we have, Scott, are really, really, get these boys pumped up, and I think they're going to be ready for the fight tonight.
And I didn't realize this, but they're going to play the national.
It could happen any time or place. You feel a tickle in your face. You move your arm feels weak. The words won't come when you're trying to speak. Folks may think it's all a joke, but it ain't no joke. It's a stroke. Face, arm, speech, time.
That smells fast.
Better call 911. At stroke's first sign. Time means brain, so don't waste time. Time means brain, so don't waste time. Act fast. Face, arm, speech, time. Act fast. Face, arm, speech, time. Act fast.
In an emergency, take me to Labette Health.
High school sports fans, follow your team live with the free ScoreStream mobile app. Just download ScoreStream to get real-time scores, photos, and awesome video from your game and your rivals. Plus, follow your favorite teams and friends. Get real-time high school sports from ScoreStream.
Hey Parsons, I'm Anna. This is Raven. We're the Anna and Raven Show, and we can't wait to wake you up on Variety 93.5.
We're the show that's all about relationships. So if it's going on at home, at work, in your life, we want to know about it.
Also, every day a couple joins us for Couples Court. They tell us what their disagreement is about, and then it's up to you to decide who's right.
Want to win cash? You can challenge me daily in pop culture trivia. It's called Can't Beat Raven. Beat me, and you get the jackpot.
Get ready to laugh, Labette County. We're the Anna and Raven Show on Variety 93.5.
The Anna and Raven Show.
We are back just in time for the first play of the game, and it's a busted play, but it's still going to be close to a first down for the Vikings. Tony, that was something else. The snap went right through the hands of quarterback Trey Mack and right into the hands of running back Jamarion Washington, and he picks up 10 yards. That's a good sign for the Vikings, I would think.
That was pretty awesome. Scott, I think if they keep giving the ball to Washington, I don't think they're going to stop him.
Well, already have an equipment issue with one of the Anderson County players. Now, I don't think that flag should count because they had essentially had an equipment timeout, so hopefully there's no penalty.
Yeah, Jesse just definitely jumped early, but I think they were signaling for. So, yeah, we got lucky there.
So here we go. 1st and 10 for the Vikes from the Anderson County 36. Another bad snap, gets past the quarterback, and he's in trouble now, and he is going to throw it into the flat, and it is going to be caught by Jesse Jones, gets around the man. He's at the 20, touchdown. 15, 10, dive, just shy. So gets down to the 1 or 2 yard line. That was a great move by Jesse Jones, and how about the poise of new starting quarterback this year, Trey Mack, because he was in a world of hurt, but. Well, I tell you, the Vikings have been very shaky on those first 2 plays, and yet they've made something out of nothing. So first and goal for the Vikes from the 2.
Been very impressed with Trey Mack, Scott.
Looks like another busted play, and Mack's going to be thrown for a big loss. The Vikings are just out of sorts offensively despite the 2 big plays they've had. Coach Scheibe very upset on the sideline because obviously not everybody was on the same page, and it results in a big loss all the way back to the 13-yard line. So it's a loss of 11 and brings up second and goal for the Vikes from the 13. Parsons leading Anderson County 7-0, just over 2 minutes to play in quarter number 1. Washington is the single running back. Good snap this time. Running play over the left side, down to the 5 and into the end zone for a touchdown is Deion Sylvester. Wow. So the Vikings, despite some serious issues on the snaps, are able to go 45 yards, and they now lead Anderson County 13-0 with 1:55 to go in the first quarter.
Yeah, Scott, like I was saying, I was pretty impressed with Mack. He had literally 0 varsity experience from last year. I mean,
Extra point is blocked. Landon Wheat looked really good on his first extra point Friday night. That one is blocked, however. Still a good start for the Vikings this afternoon. They lead 13-0, minute 55 to go in quarter number 1. We'll take a 30-second break and be back with the kickoff. You're listening to Viking Football on V93.
It's been said that to have a great team, you have to perform at a consistently higher level than others. Here at Wood Doolahary Insurance, we feel that holds true for us as well.
Whether home, auto, farm, or business, our team stands ready to help you find the right coverage at the right price.
Ready? Break! Put the Wood Doolahary team to work for you, serving the entire 4-state area.
Proud partner of Auto Owners Insurance.
Back live at Marville Park, Scott Marlowe, Tony Fuentes with you. Amanda Head filling in for us back in the KLKC studios this afternoon. Drew Fuentes taking care of our live video stream for us, so we appreciate everybody taking time out of their Labor Day weekend to make sure this broadcast gets on the air. Landon Wheat has the ball teed up at the 40-yard line, and we are ready for more action. Low line drive kick hits at the 15-yard line, picked up around the 10-yard line. This is going to be a nice return out to the 30, 35, 40.
Landon Wheat.
And Wheat, the kicker, has to make the tackle. And we've got a flag. We have got a fight going on. This may result in some ejections, Tony. I did not see how it started, but I haven't seen a scrum like this in a high school football game in quite some time. And
they're still wrestling around.
And Coach Scheibe screaming at his team to get back to the sidelines. I have no idea how it started.
77's in the middle of it.
Yeah, he's the biggest guy on the field. So this is going to be multiple penalties against both teams. I assume when it's all said and done, the penalties will offset, but I'll just be curious to see who gets ejected because I think we may have an ejection coming. Again, it's 13-0 Parsons with 1:48 to go in our opening quarter. And Tony, whatever it was way away from the action.
Yeah, I'm not sure what happened.
The tackle was made near midfield, and this extracurricular activity was back at the Anderson County 30-yard line. The officials are telling Vikings defense had headed back out onto the field. The officials are telling them, no, get back to the sidelines. We've got a lot to sort out. Boy, you hate to see that.
Yeah. Well, Scott, I was just thinking, these boys really respect this young coaching staff.
Mm-hmm.
I'm guessing the average age of our coaches are around 36, 37 years old. Got 2 new coaching staff this year, Emilio Haeda and Jamario Kendrick, taking the place of Anthony Houck and Rob Marcus. Rob had been coaching for forever. And it's just a shame that something like that happened.
Yeah, I mean, it was just like the first 2 guys that were involved, it was pretty much I don't know what to call it other than a fight.
Yeah.
Look, I think some punches were thrown. I always wonder about the effectiveness of throwing a punch when the other guy's wearing a helmet, but the tempers flare, and that's what happens. But again, 13-0 Parsons with 1:48 to go in the first quarter. While we have a break in the action, I want to go ahead and thank some of our sponsors that are bringing you Viking football this season. We have Labette Community College, Forbes Hoffman Funeral Homes, Clemens Insurance Agency, Labette Health, Woodworth Enterprises, Herman Lumber, Carson Wall Funeral Homes, Commercial Bank, Eye Care Associates of Parsons, Doctors Gilmore and Newland, also Labette Bank, Bartlett Co-op, Labette Center for Mental Health Services. Also bringing you Viking football this year, we have Tank Connection, Wood Doolahary Insurance and Real Estate, Strategic Partners, Roy Morgan Auto Service, Bowen Pharmacy, Parsons Educational Foundation, Parsons District Schools, and Community National Bank. And Tony, obviously, the officials had a lot to sort out because they're still in a huddle.
I'm not sure if they even know what to do. It's got to be offsetting.
I count three yellow flags lying on the field. And I don't know that if there were any ejections, I don't know that we'll be able to. The only way we'll be able to tell who it was is if we see anybody headed to the locker room.
Yep.
But the ball is going to be spotted when play resumes just across the Anderson County 46-yard line. It was a great return by the Bulldogs, really one of the first positive plays they've had since this game started at 7 o'clock Friday night. Vikings have been able to successfully shut down the run. And, Tony, we've already mentioned it a handful of times. It just doesn't look like Anderson County is going to be able to do much damage through the air.
Well, Scott, remember we were talking about those kicks from Friday night. Both kicks that we kicked off were like kind of squib kicks.
Right.
One of them recovered, and then he kicked that one deep, and they returned it pretty well. And we were talking before the game, and Landon Wheat was booting him about 45, 50 yards every time, and he was just kind of barely even putting anything into it. So it makes me wonder if Friday night was on purpose, and maybe we'll have to kind of go back to that.
Both head coaches have been called out onto the field and getting an explanation from the head referee. Lucas Catlett, head coach for Anderson County, and of course Jeff Scheibe in his second year as the Viking head coach. Again, it'll be 1st and 10 for Anderson County from their own 46 when play resumes. 1:48 to go in quarter number one, with Parsons leading 13-0. Parsons had an 18-yard run from Washington back on Friday night for their first score, and this afternoon they got a 13-yard run from Deion Sylvester. That would be frustrating for Anderson County. Parsons flubbed their first two plays essentially with fumbles, and still got huge plays out of it. Referee still talking to both head coaches. A lot of this may be a warning as well, saying we can't have any more of this the rest of the way.
According to my unofficial numbers, Jamarian Washington has 4 carries for 45 yards between Friday night and tonight.
Yeah, so I think your comment will age well about if we just keep giving it to Washington. It looks like Anderson County could be in trouble. And we've seen that a lot over the years, but we've been on the other side of it where the opponent, whether it's their quarterback or a big bruising running back, and they just keep feeding that guy over and over again.
Yep.
And the Viking defense just wears down. So now referee will give his official signal. We have unsportsmanlike conduct on both teams. They offset, and we have a personal foul on the Vikings, and he is ejected. We just don't know who it's on. So somebody for Parsons was ejected. So the unsportsmanlike penalties offset, and then there was a personal foul assessed to the Vikings.
15-yard,
marks it into Viking territory all the way down to the 39-yard line. of Parsons, so by far the best starting field position for Anderson County. So we'll see if the Viking defense can come up big. This will be their biggest challenge of the young season. Dallas Cooser, the quarterback for Anderson County. In the pistol, takes the snap, running play, and it's going to go nowhere.
Wow.
And you just wonder where Anderson County is going to get, where their offense is going to come from, Tony, because if Parsons keeps loading up the box like that and just shutting down the run, and Anderson County's eventually going to have to go to the air, and we saw what happened Friday night when they tried to do that. So it was a loss of 2 on the play, 2nd and 12 from the Viking 41, minute 15 to go in our opening quarter. Little jet sweep to the far side. This is going to be a decent run.
Well, he's upended, though.
Yeah, short of the first down to about the Viking 35. He was running behind the huge guy, Chalen Penny, the D1 prospect, and that's a good guy to run behind.
3rd and 5, it looks like.
Penny got up a little gimpy. He was kind of limping back to the huddle, but it looks like he's going to stay in the game. Dallas Cooser, the junior quarterback, gets his team up to the line of scrimmage. Less than a minute to go in the first quarter. 3rd and 6 for Anderson County from the Viking 35-yard line. Cooser stays in the pistol, takes the snap, rolls to the right, wants to throw, and it's going to be and possibly intercepted. Went right through the receiver's hands.
I don't know if it's interception or not. No, it hit the ground.
Yeah, it was a great effort. We were blocked by the kids on the sideline, but he had it in his possession for at least a split second, but it must have popped out when he hit the ground.
Cam Kendrick was the one that almost came up with that tipped interception there.
So again, it really wasn't a bad throw, but it went right through the receiver's hands. It was going to be short of the first down anyway, but now Anderson County will line up and go for it on 4th and a long 5 from the Viking 35-yard line. Goose are just now getting into the huddle and only 10 seconds on the play clock, so they're going to have to hustle up to the line of scrimmage. Now the Vikings may end up with 12 men on the field. There's the snap. Gooser wants to throw, comes to the near side, and it's caught but short of the first down. And the Vikings will take over on downs. And I know it's the first game of the season. That goes for broadcasters and officials and coaches and players and everybody, Tony. But I never understand those kind of play calls.
Yeah.
I know they're not very good at throwing down the field from what we've seen so far, but when it's 4th and 6,
you got to have
a guy runs an out pattern like that for 2 yards.
You need one of those little quick throws down the side and let him try to make someone miss a tackle and get a couple of yards extra.
So the Vikes take over, 1st and 10 on their own 32-yard line, leading this one 13-0. Trey Mack will have Washington behind him as the lone running back. Vikes with 4 receivers, 3 to the right, 1 to the left. And they want to throw. They're going to go to Wheat down the near sideline. He gets behind everybody, makes the he had it, and then he dropped it. Boy, he just blew right by the defender, and there was no safety help at all. Man. And that was going to be very close to a long touchdown play, and the ball was thrown perfectly by Trey Mack. And Landon Wheat had it right in his hands, and it got away from him. Yeah. And that'll bring up 2nd and 10 for the Vikes from their own 32. But, boy, the crowd was ready to erupt, and it ended up being a pretty nice crowd. A lot of Viking fans here on Labor Day. Not so much for Anderson County. That's a long drive to have to make twice over Labor Day weekend, so their contingent is not as good as it was Friday night. We'll see if the Vikings can get anything going on this 2nd down play. Little counter play to Jones. He reverses direction and has a nice pickup across the 35 out to around the 38-yard line, so a nice pickup on 2nd down of about 5 yards.
Yeah.
But it just seems like, Tony, from what we've seen so far, Parsons is just a better team than Anderson County. They seem much quicker, much more athletic as time expires. Here in the first quarter with your score, Parsons 13, Anderson County 0. We'll be back with quarter number 2 in 1 minute. This is Viking football on V93.
Hi, this is Brian at Bowen Pharmacy, and we are so excited to have this new compounding lab that we have created and designed to help you choose the different kind of medications that you might need. In here we do compounding, custom medications for you. We could do bioidentical hormones, so that's testosterone, estrogen, progesterone. We could do DHEA. We could do any of those medications to help you level out those hormones to help you stay healthy and better. We could do troches. We could do capsules. We can even do rapidly dissolved tablets, all right here at Bowen Pharmacy in Parsons, Kansas. We even have great diaper rash cream that will help your baby heal and be better and safer in the long run. Once again, we're always thankful that you choose Bowen Pharmacy to be your local provider and to make you better and to help you stay healthier and live longer. Thank you and enjoy the day.
Little Labor Day high school football for you after the weather delays on Friday night. 13-0 is your score. Parsons leading Anderson County, and Vikings facing a 3rd and 5 from their own 38-yard line. And Tony, I'd have to think that the Anderson County coaching staff wasn't very happy with the Anderson County defensive effort on that first down play. I mean, there was virtually no effort to cover Wheat, and probably should have resulted in a touchdown for the Vikings. So Anderson County caught a break on the Vikings' first down play. We'll see what the Vikings can do on 3rd and 5. They put Jones in motion. They give it to Washington across the 40. Bounces off a man coming to the near side, fighting for first down yardage. What an effort by Washington.
Wow.
All the way out to the 45. He was hit initially shy of the first down, but he just took about 3 guys to finally get him brought down. He's just a sophomore.
That's what I'm saying, Scott. He's averaging 11 yards a carry, and he didn't touch it the first 2 plays of this drive. I mean, how can you not give it? You know what I mean? It's until they start stopping him, I just feed it to him.
Yeah, and that's going to open up some play action passing opportunities as well for the Vikes if he continues to run that well. Sylvester in motion. There's the snap to Mack. He wants to roll to the right, looking to pass. He's got a man open, and it's Sylvester trying to put a move on his man. And gets brought down inside Anderson County territory.
9-yard pickup, it looks like maybe.
Yeah, going to be just a little shy.
Maybe 8. They're giving him 8.
So we'll call it 2nd down and 2. Ball just shy of the Anderson County 48-yard line. Approaching the 11-minute mark of the second quarter with Parsons leading at 13-0.
That play, Scott, that drop pass was similar to the play that we threw Friday night. Down the sideline to, I'm trying to think of who that was.
Vikings are going to do a running play to the near side. And it's going to be enough for the first down. Jesse Jones on the carry. Came all the way across the field before being brought down right around the Anderson County 40-yard line. So
Trey Pierce was Friday night that caught that 27-yarder down the sideline.
Yeah, I think the Vikings, especially if Washington continues to pound the ball like he is, I think the playbook is really going to open up for Coach Scheibe and the Viking offense.
You got speedsters in Jones and Sylvester. I mean, you got some talent there.
JJ Kinder, yeah, we've got a flag. We had 2 guys on the line that switched places for the Vikings, and that's going to result in a 5-yard mark off. I've never seen 2 guys on the offensive line do that before, and I don't think the officials had either because it took them a half a second to go ahead and pull the flag out. So 5-yard penalty on the Vikes backs them up to the 45-yard line of Anderson County, where it will be 1st and 15. Parsons leading this contest 13-0. They fake the handoff, and now they give it to Sylvester on an end around. He's at the 40. He's got a blocker out in front of him. Caught from behind. I believe that's actually the quarterback for Anderson County. Kusser with a nice play. Otherwise, that may have gone the distance. But it's a nice pickup on 1st and 15. It'll bring up 2nd and about 3. Call it 2nd and 2 for the Vikings. Ball spotted on the Bulldog 32-yard line. Caden Kessler in the lineup for the Vikes. Trey Mack Put Sylvester in motion. They give it to the big man Washington right up the middle. He bounces it to the near side, still on his feet. Very close to a first down. That was about the best Anderson County has defended the run in this ball game, but it's still very close to a first down. I think he has to get right to the 30-yard line, and he is about a foot short. So 3rd and 1 coming up for the Vikes. A little over 9 minutes to go in the first half. Parsons leading this contest 13-0. Trey Mack, the quarterback, looks over the defense. Still 10 seconds on the play clock. It's a man in motion. Right up the middle for Washington, and he has enough for the first down. Pretty nice push by the Viking offensive line.
That's something we haven't had in a while.
Yeah, and the offensive line has really looked pretty good because not only is the running game going, the few times the Vikings have thrown the ball, they've given Mack time to survey the field, so that makes a huge difference. Let's have a couple of receivers to the near side. And I think we have a timeout called by Coach Scheibe. 8:19 to go in the first half. Parsons leading at 13-0. We'll step away for a 30-second break and be right back. You're listening to Viking Football on V93.
Labette Community College is meeting the need for an increased demand in qualified radiographers. Our radiography students will train on the latest technology in a hospital simulation environment.
I wanted to be able to go into a career where I could help people. And if you're going to go into that field in this part of the four-state area, LCC is the only place to come.
Tuition is nearly half the cost of universities. Scholarship and financial aid available for those who qualify. Text radiography to 620-293-6671 for more information or visit labette.edu.
And we're back live at Marvell Park. 8:19 to go in our first half. Parsons leading Anderson County 13-0. Breaking out of the timeout huddle, the Vikes hustle up to the line of scrimmage. We'll see what Coach Scheibe decided to do during that timeout. Parsons has it 1st and 10 from the Bulldog 27-yard line. Parsons trying to add to their 13-point cushion. Mack in the pistol. Fakes the end around, and ball tipped up in the air. This could be an interception, and it may go the distance the other way. It's going to be a foot race, 40, 35, 30, 20, 10, 5, and a touchdown for Anderson County. They score off their defense.
And that's the running back, Fisher Gailey.
So out of that timeout, it backfires on the Vikes. It's about a 73-yard return on the interception. And that is exactly what Anderson County needed because their offense had done nothing in the first half. It may be the little jump start that they need to get back in this ball game. I didn't see who deflected it, but somebody got a big paw up there and deflected the ball way up into the air, and it was actually a very easy interception. And then it was just a foot race to the end zone.
And Gailey's kicking too.
Yep, Gailey's also going to kick after that long run. Boy, it looked like a false start, sure enough. And that'll back up Anderson County 5 yards. So 13-6 is your score. Parsons leading this one by 7, just over 8 minutes to go in the first half. And Tony, how quickly things change. It looked like the Vikings were probably going to have a 3-touchdown lead by the end of that drive. That's now 2 turnovers on the Vikings in this game. Jesse Jones had a fumble on Friday night that was recovered by Anderson County. Anderson County also has 2 turnovers, though. They flubbed the opening kickoff Friday night, and then they've had an interception. That is blocked on the extra point. So the Vikings maintain a 7-point lead, 13-6 with 8:05 to go in the first half. We'll take a 30-second break and be right back. This is Viking Football on V93.
school sports fans, follow your team live with the free ScoreStream mobile app. Just download ScoreStream to get real-time scores, photos, and awesome video from your game and your rivals. Plus, follow your favorite teams and friends. Get real-time high school sports from ScoreStream.
Well, in case you missed it, it was a 73-yard interception return for a touchdown for Anderson County by Fisher Gailey, one of the linebackers. Also running back and place kicker for the Bulldogs, but Parsons was able to block the extra point. And the Vikings lead this contest 13-6, just over 8 minutes to go in our first half. Gailey getting ready to tee the ball up at the 40-yard line. Vikes will send Jesse Jones and Deion Sylvester back to around the 10-yard line. And we'll see if Anderson County wants to kick deep, or if they're going to keep it away from the Viking speedsters.
I do remember Gailey being the kicker last year, Scott.
Seems like he had a pretty good leg.
Yeah, I remember him running in a couple touchdowns and kicking. I remember us talking about it.
All in all, Parsons has looked much faster, so we'll see. They do go and kick it deep, and it's going to make it all the way into the end zone. Sure enough, that's one way to keep the Vikings from having a good return, is to boot that ball all the way into the end zone. Nicely done by Gailey of Anderson County, and the Vikings will take over on the 20-yard line. Still over 8 minutes to go in the first half. Just like you would expect in the first week of a high school football season, the Vikings have looked good on some plays, and they've looked a little shaky on others, but I'm sure Coach Scheibe and his staff will get those problems ironed out. Trey Mack, as he will be virtually all season in the pistol, gives it to Washington over left tackle, and he barrels ahead for about 5 yards. And we have an injured Bulldog on the field. We haven't talked about the weather. It was just miserable Friday night, and it's a little bit nicer this afternoon. Still in the upper 80s, so we may have some cramping issues by the time this game is over. And that's their big man, Tony.
Oh, yeah.
Penny limping off the field. He was limping earlier in the game, and boy, if he's if he's out for any amount of time at all, then Anderson County is going to be in a world of hurt, because he is their anchor on both sides of the ball. 2nd and 5 for the Vikes from their own 25, 7:44 to go. Now they wind the clock. 2nd and 5 for Parsons. They lead this contest 13-6. Trey Mack puts Sylvester in motion. Give it to Washington, and he is into the secondary and falls forward for the first down. Across the 30 to about the 32-yard line.
Yeah, hopefully Coach Scheibe is seeing the writing on the wall after that last tipped in ball and run back. That, I mean, you just keep it on the ground, run the clock, and until they stop him. I mean, he's still averaging close to 10 yards a carry.
Yeah, statistically, the Vikings have absolutely dominated Anderson County, and yet because of the interception return for a touchdown, Parsons only leads by 7. We'll see if Coach Scheibe keeps it on the ground. It's another end around to Jesse Jones. He's got a blocker. 45 cuts it back against the grain. I don't know if that was the right thing to do, but either way, he has a first down.
About 14-yard pickup.
I thought Jesse probably had a little more room on the near side.
Yeah, I think if he'd cut back this way along the sideline, he probably got at least another 10 yards.
It's still a first down for the Vikes across the 45 to their own 46, where it'll be 1st and 10. And do we have a penalty?
Uh-oh.
A penalty on the Vikes.
That's not good.
I never even saw the flag on the field.
I did not either.
Oh, it's way on the other side.
Yes, it is, all the way
back at the 30, so that'll wipe out a nice gain by Jesse Jones. Coach Scheibe just standing on the sidelines with his arms out to the side saying, what in the world happened? I don't know if he was doing that to his offense, the guy who was guilty of the penalty, or if he was doing it to the referee. But, man, that wipes out a nice gain for Parsons. They end up moving the ball back to the right around the 27-yard line.
Just a 5-yard penalty.
So instead of 1st and 10 from near midfield, the Vikings facing a 1st and 15 from their own 27. Washington still in the backfield. 2 receivers to the near side for Trey Mack. Puts Sylvester in motion. Gives it to Washington again. Gets away from one tackler. Is out to the 35. Still on his feet. 40, 45, 50. Caught from behind. Close to a horse collar. But I think it was a legal tackle. But he is into Anderson County territory at the 45.
28-yard run.
So, Tony, you spotted it early on. And Washington just hard to bring down for this Anderson County defense because a couple of guys had a hold of him, and he just ran right through their tackles.
His feet are like churning. They're like jumping. I noticed that Friday night. You remember those two, like he should have been caught in the backfield Friday night twice, and he did the same thing there.
So 1st and 10 for the Vikes from the Anderson County 45. Parsons leading at 13-6. 6 minutes to go in the first half. Could have been a false start on the Vikes, and now there is a false start as Jesse Jones goes into motion. And I think we also had maybe somebody on the offensive line. Again, the Vikings, it's not quite on the same page, and that's just the sort of thing that you're going to see in the opening week of the season. So now the Vikings find themselves again in a 1st and 15 situation, but
hasn't hurt them yet.
Unless Anderson County really, really starts crowding the line of scrimmage, I think the Vikings are probably going to keep the ball on the ground for the most part. There's the snap to Mack. Gives it to Sylvester, and he's got one blocker out in front of him.
There's a flag.
Yep, we have another flag as Sylvester is swallowed up at around the 43-yard line.
I think there's a block in the back on 58.
Yep, it's going to come back. So back-to-back penalties on the Vikings. They've kind of been shooting themselves in the foot here in the second quarter after grabbing that 13-0 lead. Yep, holding on the Vikes.
Malik Ferguson, I think, is the guilty party for us. A 58 for them. Noah Wheeler, I think he got pushed.
The big lineman for Anderson County, Penny, back out on the field, but he is limping noticeably, so he is not 100%. He's still going to be better than most high school linemen, even if he's only at 50%. But, wow, this backs the Vikings up all the way to to their own 45-yard line. So
first
now,
and 20?
Yeah, 1st and 20. And now Coach Scheibe may think about going to the air at some point. Oh, fumble on the snap, and now the Vikings just self-destructing on this drive. Another 5-yard loss on the play, back to the Vikings' own 40, and now Tony 2nd and 25. And we'll see how aggressive Coach Scheibe wants to be. You would think if they were going to throw, it would be at least some sort of short pattern here on 2nd down. They've shown the ability to throw deep on this Anderson County defense. Just had a couple of dropped passes. Anderson County may be showing blitz. Vikings keep it on the ground, and it's going to go nowhere. And Anderson County, a nice job plugging up.
That was the first time Washington's been stopped.
And he kind of hesitated. It's almost like he wasn't maybe fully expecting to get the handoff. And now it's 3rd and forever for the Vikes. 3rd and 25 from their own 40. This might be where you might bring in your backup quarterback, who I know can throw the ball a good 50 yards.
Yep.
And, you know, even if it gets intercepted, it's the same as a punt. But he's going to keep Trey Mack on the field. 3rd and 25 for the Vikes from their own 40, leading at 13-6, 3:55 to go in the first half. 1 second on the play clock, and we have a timeout called by Coach Scheibe, and he wants to bring his offense over and talk things over. So 3rd and 25, tough situation for the Viking offense. They lead at 13-6, 3:46 to go in the first half. We'll step away for a 30-second commercial break. This is Viking football on V93.
Hey Parsons, I'm Anna. This is Raven. We're the Anna and Raven Show, and we can't wait to wake you up on Variety 93.5.
We're the show that's all about relationships. So if it's going on at home, at work, in your life, we want to know about it.
Also, every day a couple joins us for Couples Court. They tell us what their disagreement is about, and then it's up to you to decide who's right.
Want to win cash? You can challenge me daily in pop culture trivia. It's called Can't Beat Raven. Beat me, and you get the jackpot.
Get ready to laugh, Labette County. We're the Anna and Raven Show on Variety 93.5.
The Anna and Raven Show.
And we're back live. 13-6. Vikings lead this one. 3:46 to go in the first half. What do you think, Tony? What do you think Coach Scheibe is going to come up with on 3rd and 25 from the Vikings own 40?
I'm thinking it's going to be a jet sweep, either Sylvester or I think Sylvester definitely has got the most speed. I was thinking Jones as well, but Sylvester's been getting away from the defenders pretty well this game.
Vikings have to get all the way down to the Anderson County 35-yard line to get a first down. They put Sylvester in motion. We've got a flag. Must have been some early movement by the Vikings.
Wow.
Penalties just racking up here in the second quarter. Parsons, their own worst enemy right now.
Wow.
Everything got off to such a good start this afternoon. Vikings went down and scored on that opening possession of the afternoon to take that 13-0 lead, and then looked like they were probably going to drive down and have a 3-touchdown lead. And then all of a sudden, a interception that was returned 73 yards for a touchdown by Anderson County to get within 13-6, and now Parsons, penalty after penalty.
Same play.
Snap, and they give it off to Sylvester. He's got a blocker out in front of him, but not enough, and he's going to be well short of the first down. Coach Scheibe playing it safe. Ball will be spotted just across the Vikings' 40-yard line, and Parsons will have to kick it away. Anderson County will send back Braden Blaufus deep for this return.
Landon Wheat had a really good punt Friday night. I want to say about 43, 44 yards.
Yeah, he's doing all the kicking duties this year for the Vikes. He'll be the punter and the place kicker as well after that horrific injury to Quirin that happened, I believe, back in April. Knocked him out for the entire season. Good snap and a pretty good punt. It is going to be unreturnable. He angles it to the far sideline, and they will mark it out around the 26-yard line of Anderson County. So nicely done by Wheat. But now Anderson County will have a chance here late in the first half to drive down and get this ball game tied, or even have the lead by one going in to the locker room. We're down to 2:37 to go in the first half.
Vikings, Scott, are out of timeouts, which if they could have stopped a couple plays here, they probably could have used some timeouts to get the ball back, but with no timeouts, Anderson County might just run it and run the clock out.
Maston Wright, one of two receivers to the near side. They want to throw. Heavy pressure applied. Now the quarterback's just going to run for his life and slides out of bounds.
I don't think he gained any yards.
Yeah, I think maybe even taken a loss on the play. One thing that you have to feel good about is the Vikings' defensive effort. You know, Anderson County has 6 points, but that was a defensive touchdown by the Bulldogs. They just have not had any success moving the ball against this Viking defense. Ended up being at least a 2-yard loss for the Bulldogs. Ball spotted now inside their own 25-yard line. Dallas Kusser takes the snap. He wants to throw, and on a nice comeback, catch is made.
Blaufus. Yep.
So a nice reception out to the 35-yard line. A little shy of the first down, but a very manageable 3rd and 1 coming up for Anderson County. Now, I want to say they have 2 timeouts remaining, but Hard to remember going back to, it says on the scoreboard, it says they have all 3. Another pass play on 3rd and 1. It's going to be a sack.
That's Malik Ferguson.
Ferguson got in there, and now all of a sudden, Anderson County's going to have to bring on their punting unit, most likely.
Yeah.
They're going to, and this just brings up what you just said, Tony, with the Vikings out of timeouts. Anderson County's just going to let this clock run as long as they possibly can. I'm sure they'll take the play clock down to 1 second and then call a timeout. Otherwise, Coach Scheibe, if he had had a timeout in his hip pocket, I'm sure would have taken it at the end of that play.
Isaiah Tyson was the first one there. Malik Ferguson was there on the cleanup on that last sack.
Oh, they went ahead and snapped it. I'm shocked. I thought they would take it down to 1 second. It's a nice kick. Fielded by about the 38 by Sylvester. He cuts back to the 45, 50, 45, 40, 35, 30. Cuts back against the grain. He may go the distance.
He's got it.
20, 15, 10, 5, and it is a touchdown for Sylvester. What a turn of events at the end of the first half. And they're going to get, maybe a taunting penalty?
He did a little dance before he crossed the goal line.
So it won't take away the touchdown, but it's going to end up being a 15-yard penalty on the Vikings, and I'm sure Coach Scheibe is going to clean up some of that excessive celebration. So the Vikings, Vikings have to be aware.
Well, Scott, there's a discussion because I think there's a flag back here at the 35, or is that something else?
Yeah, I think you're right.
It might be something else.
I didn't see any illegal blocks, but of course when you have 22 guys on the field, you can't see everything. Personal foul on the Vikings. It wasn't unsportsmanlike conduct. It was a personal foul.
So no touchdown then?
Trying to see if they're going to wave that off. It was just an unbelievable return by Sylvester. Changed direction 2 or 3 times. As a jaunt toward the end zone. Coach Scheibe just beside himself on the sideline, just penalty after penalty.
It's going to take it all the way back to 50. So
he says personal foul, and I cannot make out what signal the head referee is giving after the personal foul to indicate exactly what was done.
No touchdown.
So they're going to have to take that 6 points off the board. Vikings have definitely been their own worst enemy here in the second quarter. The one constant they've had, Tony, is their defense. Their defense has played exceptionally well the entire first half. Only 32 seconds on the game clock. Ball is spotted at the Anderson County 49-yard line. 32 seconds to play. I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Scheibe had at least one timeout in his hip pocket. I would think he might be pretty aggressive with his play calling. But with no timeouts, we'll just have to see. I mean, it's obvious that Parsons is faster than Anderson County. But again, the one touchdown that the Bulldogs do have came off an interception that was returned 73 yards.
Yeah, you don't want to do something stupid like that and have a tie game going to halftime.
Right. So, boy, the Vikings, I've lost track of, they probably had over 100 yards of penalties in the second quarter.
Oh, man, it's been a bunch.
So let's see how Coach Scheibe wants to play this. First down play for the Vikes. He is going to put it in the air. They want to go deep over the middle, and it is going to be
almost caught.
Incomplete down around the 15-yard line. Great diving effort.
J.J. Kendrick, maybe? Not sure who that is. I thought it was 18, but
I never got a good look at the number.
I don't know. Yeah, J.J. Kendrick.
So that brings up 2nd and 10 for the Vikes. 27 seconds to go in the first half. Parsons leading at 13-6. Ball spotted just across midfield. About 12 seconds on the play clock. Vikings get up to the line of scrimmage. Isaiah Tyson quickly out onto the field now for the Vikes. 1 second on the play clock, and they didn't get it off. That's a delay of game. I almost have to think, of course, Anderson County has 3 timeouts. I was going to say the Vikes might want to just take a knee and run out the clock, but Anderson County may burn their timeouts in a situation like that. So Parsons with a penalty on just about every other play. Ball backed up to the Viking 45-yard line. They'll have 3 receivers to the near side. Washington is the running back. Mack takes the snap. I'm going to throw it to the near sideline, and the Vikings have a couple of blockers out there, and it's a nice run inside the 40. Should have got out of bounds. Clock will still stop temporarily to move the chains. Is a first down. I believe that was Kendrick.
That was J.J. Kendrick.
5'10 sophomore. They wind the clock. Only 12 seconds to go, and the clock is on the move. Vikes may want to take a shot to the end zone right here. Nope. Instead, they kill the clock. Mack throws the ball into the turf with 7 seconds to play, so really only time for one play.
Can't have a penalty here. Won't it be a 10-second runoff, or do they do that?
They may do that at the high school level. I'm not 100% sure.
The way we've been going.
I would just take a shot to the end zone. You never know when you might get a defensive pass interference call at this stage of the ball game. 7 seconds to go in the half. 2nd and 10 for the Vikes from the Anderson. Oh, we've got a flag. Was it another delay of game? Man. Penalties here in the second quarter for Parsons. And yet they still lead 13-6. Offense up to the line. This time 3 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. Trey Mack takes the snap, 5 seconds. He's going to hurl it down the field, and it is going to be possibly caught, but no, then it falls incomplete right around the 5. Would have ended up, I don't think the receiver would have been able to get into the end zone, even if he had come down with it, but a great effort by the Vikes, and we have finally reached halftime with your score. Parsons 13 and Anderson County 6. We're going to send it back to the station. I'm going to hang on just.
Hi, this is Brian at Bowen Pharmacy, and today I'd like to visit with you about how you take your medications. Did you know that when you miss 2 doses per week, that's 3.5 months out of the year that you missed your medications, and that can have detrimental effects on your health in a long time period. Here at Bowen Pharmacy, we have this great new machine called the Rapid Pack RX. And what this machine does is it takes all your medications, filters it down, and puts in this nice strip right here that you can pull out of this box. And at any time of the day that you need your medication, it's right here ready for you. Whether you take it 1 a day, 2 a day, 5 a day, or 6 times per day, we can make that happen for you. It's all interfaced with our pharmacy system, and when it runs through, it puts all those times down for you. It even prints the medications on the strip, and you can take it throughout the day without having to take your bottles with you. It helps you stay compliant, helps you stay healthy, and it's going to give you a long life to live to enjoy. Here at Bowen Pharmacy, we're always thankful that you choose us to be your local provider. Thank you and have a wonderful day.
When it comes to choosing the best health care for yourself and your loved ones, there are other hospitals.
And then there's our hospital. The difference is that while other hospitals will care for you, we will actually care about you.
Other hospitals make decisions based on what's best for their bottom line,
while we do what's best for our community.
If you're looking for a pretty hospital, they're out there.
But if you're looking for the best hospital, it's here.
And here.
When award-earning care is as close as this, there's no reason to go anywhere else.
At Labette Health, we center around you.
At Labette Community College, we're passionate about medicine and compassionate about people. Our highly trained instructors provide innovative career-specific education in the field of diagnostic medical sonography. Do you already have an associate or bachelor's degree in healthcare? Earn an additional certification in sonography. LCC offers a 12-month completely online program with a clinical component. In as little as 1 year, specialize in OB, abdomen, or vascular. For more information, text pound SONO to 620-293-6671 today. Apply online at labette.edu.
It's been said that to have a great team, you have to perform at a consistently higher level than others. Here at Wood Doolahary Insurance, we feel that holds true for us as well.
Whether home, auto, farm, or business, our team stands ready to help you find the right coverage at the right price.
Ready? Break! Put the Wood Doolahary team to work for you, serving the entire four-state area.
Proud partner of Auto Owners Insurance.
Hey Parsons, I'm Anna. This is Raven. We're the Anna and Raven Show, and we can't wait to wake you up on Variety 93.5.
We're the show that's all about relationships. So if it's going on at home, at work, in your life, we want to know about it.
Also, every day a couple joins us for Couples Court. They tell us what their disagreement is about, and then it's up to you to decide who's right.
Want to win cash? You can challenge me daily in pop culture trivia. It's called Can't Beat Raven. Beat me, and you get the jackpot.
Get ready to laugh, Labette County. We're the Anna and Raven Show on Variety 93.5.
The Anna and Raven Show.
And we are back live at Marvel Park. We are at halftime with the Vikings leading Anderson County 13-6. And before we hand it over to my broadcast partner, Tony Fuentes, for some first half stats, Tony, let's talk about some missed opportunities for the Vikings. You know, even going back to Friday night, we had, you know, the fumble by Jesse Jones on what looked like a very promising drive, and that, of course, came to an end with that fumble. And then today we had the dropped pass on the near side that was probably going to go the distance because Landon Wheat just blew right by the corner. And, boy, it was a beautifully thrown pass right in his hands. And it was just one of those where, you know, it was almost too easy.
Yeah.
Almost, you know, because he had it right there. And I know what kind of athlete he is. And he's an outstanding receiver. And that's just one of those things that happens, especially in the first week of the season. And then, unfortunately, that really wasn't the worst missed opportunity. I would go with the punt return by Deion Sylvester that did go the distance, and it got called back due to penalty, and penalties was the other big story in the second quarter. The Vikings just shot themselves in the foot over and over and over again, but despite 3 or 4 missed opportunities, an unbelievable amount of penalty yardage, the good news is Vikings lead at 13-6.
Yeah, the good thing is we have the lead and we're getting the ball first, but it should be at least a 3-touchdown lead.
Right.
And not just a 1-touchdown lead. But I'm going to go over some stats from the first half. Trey Mack, 102 yards passing. This is unofficial, but Trey Mack, 102 yards passing with 1 interception. Jamarian Washington, 9 rushes for 99 yards, so he's averaging 11 yards a carry. Deion Sylvester, 5 rushes for 44, so he's averaging over 8 yards a carry, and he has a touchdown in that. And he has also 2 receptions for 17 yards, and then Jesse Jones has 2 receptions for 38 yards. So, I mean, not a whole lot of passing yards, but 100 yards is not bad. I mean, I know Ethan threw up, 250 like it was nothing in the first half, a lot last year, but with 100 yards rushing from one guy and then another 44 from Sylvester, I mean, that you're talking, I mean, there's probably a couple other rushes there too that we probably had 150 in rushing.
Yeah, it's, this game is flipped from a lot of the Viking games I've seen over the last few years where you go back to some of the Viking teams that had struggled to even get a win during the season. Every now and then, even though they would get dominated statistically, they had enough athletes on the field that they would find a way to keep it close.
Yeah.
And while Anderson County does not have the athletes that Parsons does in this particular contest, it just took that one big defensive play. They got the batted ball, went about 10 feet up in the air, resulted in the interception that was returned 73 yards by Gailey for Anderson County's lone score in the first half. But I think if the Vikings can just limit their penalties and the defense keeps doing what they did in the first half, I really don't see how the Vikings don't get out of here with a win this afternoon.
Yeah. The defense pitched a shutout, and like you said, the only thing that stopped our drives is penalties. I mean, it wasn't them. It was penalties.
Yeah, Anderson County, for the most part in that first half, I won't say they looked overwhelmed, but pretty close to it at times. The Vikings were just faster and quicker. Parsons threw the ball better. Parsons ran the ball better. And the Viking defense was really the standout unit in those first 2 quarters. Parsons' special teams did some nice things, but unfortunately a lot of their bigger plays did get called back due to penalties. Still a couple of minutes away from the first half, so I'm going to go ahead and run down. I want to thank our sponsors once again who are bringing you Viking football in the 2021 season. Viking football is being brought to you by Labette Community College, Forbes Hoffman Funeral Homes, Clemens Insurance Agency, Labette Health, Woodworth Enterprises, Herman Lumber, Carson Wall Funeral Homes, Commercial Bank, Eye Care Associates of Parsons, Doctors Gilmore and Newland, also Labette Bank, Bartlett Co-op, Labette Center for Mental Health Services, Tank Connection, Wood Doolahary Insurance and Real Estate, Strategic Partners, Roy Morgan Auto Service, Bowen Pharmacy, Parsons Educational Foundation, Parsons District Schools, and Community National Bank. And Tony, one thing we haven't talked about yet is, we talked about how strange it was coming back on Labor Day to finish this ball game. But for both of these squads, it's going to be a short week now.
Yeah.
Because, having to play on Monday night, and then they've got just a couple of days, really, 2 or 3 days to prepare for the next Friday's opponent.
Yeah, because, most of the time after a game, you usually have the weekend to kind of rest up a little bit. So, I don't know if you have a light practice tomorrow and then come back, practice Wednesday, Thursday, and then come in the game. It's definitely going to throw their whole week schedule completely off. I don't see how. You can't have a normal schedule after what they're doing. So it's definitely going to alter some things for the preparations for Iola, I would say.
And speaking of next Friday night, or I should say this coming Friday night, the Vikings will be at home again here at Marvel Park, hosting the Iola Mustangs. Vikings get to enjoy 5 home games this season. Only 3 on the road, and hopefully the Vikings will find themselves punching their ticket to the postseason, just like they did last season. Just about ready for second half action. Gailey has the tee at the 40-yard line. Still no football there. They finally get one in from the sideline. 13-6 is your score. Parsons leading this by 7, and they will get the kickoff. And this time the return men for the Vikes backed all the way up to the goal line. Gailey put it about 5 yards deep in the end zone on his previous kickoff. When the officials looking at their watch, even though all 22 players are lined up and ready to go, I'm sure they have to let it go. Halftime has to be a certain amount of time. And they're not going to put the ball on the tee until that time has elapsed.
They're making him put his pants below his kneecaps.
Yep, sure enough.
Man, they're crossing all the T's, dotting all the I's.
Great attention to detail by this officiating crew. Had their hands full back early in the second quarter, one of the first plays of the game, when we had pretty much a flat-out brawl around the 30-yard line that resulted in one of the Viking players being ejected.
I never did see anybody leave the field.
I didn't either.
So I'm not sure if he already had went to the locker room before they made the decision. That's the only thing I can think of because I've never seen him.
And we were just about ready for the second half. Gailey now getting the ball set up at the 40-yard line. Jesse Jones, one of the deep men for the Vikes. I believe that is Sylvester back there with him. Right on the goal line. Anderson County in their traveling white jerseys with red helmets. Parsons Vikings in that familiar blue and gold. High end-over-end kick. This will be fielded by Sylvester at the 2. Coming to the near side, he is at the 15, 20. He's got a big hole in the middle. Cuts back, 35, 40, and tripped up there. Nice return all the way up to the 40-yard line. It'll be good starting field position for the Vikes.
Yeah, Dion definitely is a speedster, Scott. He's got the speed and he's got the agility to make guys miss. And if they make one miss, that's usually another 5 to 10 yards every time.
And the best news on that return, Tony, no flags.
Yep.
Vikes had so many penalties in that second quarter. And let's see if Coach Scheibe gives Anderson County another big dose of Jamarion Washington. They give it to him over the left side. He has a decent pickup, stood up around the 45 and falls forward. I think they're going to mark him down right at the 45. Nice pickup of 5 yards. And I know Coach Scheibe, when I talked to him last week, Tony, he was just told me several times we have to be able to get 3 yards on the ground. When we put the ball on the ground, we've got to pick up 3 yards, and boy, that hasn't been an issue against this Anderson County defense. Mack in the pistol. 2nd and 5 for the Vikes from their own 45. Throw a little bubble screen to the near side. It's going to be a first down for Kendrick as he gets to the 45-yard line of Anderson County.
Nice 10-yard pickup.
That was similar to what we used to see a lot of when Coach Freeze was the head coach and the Vikings were in that spread offense.
That's a third option, too. I mean, you got Sylvester and Jones. I mean, having Kendrick out there, I mean, that's definitely going to throw the defense off a little bit.
Man in motion, but they give it to Washington over the right side. He is met close to the line of scrimmage, but he barrels forward for a few yards down to the 41 or 42-yard line.
Yeah, it's about a 4-yard pickup.
I don't think he has, that breakaway speed that a lot of the Viking athletes have had over the years, but he really doesn't need it.
No, he's a bruiser.
Not against this defense anyway. He has proven that he can get yards almost at will. They give it to him again over left tackle, and he's into the secondary for a first down. Does a good job of hanging onto the football. I think it was one of the linebackers that was trying to strip him of the football, but it is another first down for the Vikings. Coach Scheibe going with what worked in the first half. And when you're running the ball successfully, Tony, you usually don't have to worry as much about holding penalties.
Yep.
You get a lot of those holding penalties by an offensive lineman when you're trying to pass protect. There's the snap, maybe a busted play. Instead, nice tackle in the backfield. Sylvester goes down. And it'll be a loss on the play back to the Viking, or rather to the Anderson County 36-yard line, I believe. So it'll be second and long for the Vikes. We have 9.5 minutes to go in the third quarter. Parsons leading this contest 13-6. Parsons has running touchdowns by Washington and Sylvester. Anderson County's lone score came on an interception return by Gailey. Second and 12 for the Vikes from the Bulldog 36. 3 receivers to the right side. The Vikes are going to come to the near side, and it is nearly dropped, but then caught somehow by Sylvester, and he gets inside the 30 before being brought down. He'll be short of the first down. But again, Tony, the athleticism of the Vikings paying off, because he juggled that long enough that the defense got right in on top of him, but he was able to get around a couple of guys and make a decent gain out of it. We'll call it about 3rd and 5 for the Vikes. Around the 29-yard line of Anderson County. Mack in the pistol. Now looks over to the sidelines. Still plenty of time on the play clock. Now he moves under center. Says something to his offensive lineman. There's the snap. They give it to Washington. Gets away from 1 man. Gets away from 2 men. 3 men. He's still on his feet fighting for the first down. What an effort. I think he's going to be about a yard short.
I don't know. I think he got it. The far side ref.
The
far side ref is short. The near side ref is saying first down. Look at him.
Yes, he is. Yeah, they are not even close, are they? On where he's still, I think, saying move the sticks.
The other one's got. He's holding up 4 on the other side with the sticks.
Yeah, now they move it back, and it is going to be fourth down. Wow. So 4th and less than a yard for the Vikes. And the play clock down to 10 seconds. We have about 8 minutes to go in the third quarter. Vikes are going to line up and go for it on 4th and about a yard. The snap, running play right up the middle, and that's going to be enough for the first down.
Yeah.
Vikings have been winning the battle at the line of scrimmage.
I was going to say, when you got 3rd and 5, Scott, if you do 2 run plays to Washington, the way he's been running the ball, he should pick it up.
Yeah, I mean, Anderson County really hasn't had any success slowing Washington down this entire ball game.
Yeah, it took one guy on the play before to stop him, and then Penne came and knocked him down.
1st and 10 from the Bulldog 24. Coming to the near side is Jesse Jones, and he's swallowed up by about 3 Bulldogs for a loss of about 5. Read well by the Anderson County defense, and Jesse Jones a little slow getting up. A lot of these guys, with the exception of Washington, that are going to touch the ball for the Vikings, they don't have a lot of size. A lot of speed, a lot of athleticism. Washington's a bruiser, but, the quarterback, Trey Mack, isn't very big. Jesse Jones isn't very big.
Either Sylvester or
Sylvester and Kendrick are both on the smaller side. Vikings look to throw. Mack in trouble. He is hit hard and sacked back at the 50-yard line, and that should be a penalty. It looked to me like the Anderson County guy got right in his face and said something. It was number 1 who lost his helmet, Jack Crane. I'm shocked that they didn't throw a flag because he clearly said something to him.
Well, the white hat was right there. I mean, if he was going to throw something, he would have thrown it.
So, big play by the Anderson County defense as the Vikings find themselves backed up to the Bulldog 40-yard line, and they have to get inside the 15 for a first down. Mack in the pistol, takes the snap, fakes the handoff, throws it out in the flat to Sylvester. The blocker fell down, but Sylvester still on his feet all the way down to the 20-yard line. That's enough of a pickup that I'm sure Coach Scheibe, of course, at this point will be very comfortable going forward on fourth down this deep in Bulldog territory. Down to 5:54 to go in the third quarter. Parsons up 13-6. That was the score at halftime. Vikings have done a good job running off over half the time here in the third quarter on their opening possession. Fourth and about 5.5 yards to go. There's the snap. Mack flushed out of the pocket. He's in trouble. He's trying to outrun everybody. Hurls it to the end zone, and it is going to be incomplete. And Anderson County will take over on down. So nice job by the Anderson County defense to hold. Vikings held the ball for over half of the third quarter, but they come up empty. Let's see if the Anderson County offense made any adjustments at halftime that can kind of get them jump started, because their offense was pretty stagnant the first two quarters.
Yeah, it was just nice of Sylvester to pick up 20 yards to make it to where at least they could try to go for that. But I was still surprised, Scott. I mean, yeah, 4th and 6. Give it to Washington, see if he can pick it up. I mean,
yeah, he's been, I would imagine that he's averaging
still
at least 5 yards a carry.
He was 11 yards a carry in the the first half, and he's had a 5, a 4, an 8, 4, a 1. I mean, he's still probably averaging 8 yards a carry.
Junior quarterback Dallas Kusser gets his offense up to the line of scrimmage. Anderson County's first play of the second half. There's the snap. Oh, ball fumbled. It was a bad snap. No. I think Anderson County caught a break.
He might have fell right back on it.
I don't even know if that ball ever got back to the quarterback.
Hit the guy in the arm, I think.
So it's a short loss on the play. Back to about the 18, so that'll bring up second down and 12 for the Bulldogs. Clock on the move, 5 minutes to play in quarter number 3. Parsons leading Anderson County 13-6. And this is the opening game for both teams. This game being resumed after the postponement from Friday night due to lightning.
Yeah, they're not in any hurry either, Scott.
No, they're not. Only 7 seconds on the play clock. But a man in motion and almost another near disaster. We've got a flag on the play, and it's a decent pickup by the quarterback, Kusser. But, yeah, timing is just off, and you've seen that by both teams.
Bell got decapitated by the ball.
And we'll see what the flag is.
That's got to be on them. I mean,
the only way it'd be on the Vikings, I would think, is if one of them, it's going to be
chop block,
and it's going to come back.
Yeah, you definitely want to back them up, I think. I mean, it'd be third and 6 or second and probably 22.
I'm pretty sure that Coach Scheibe will take this penalty. The illegal block is going to...
Is that 10-yard penalty?
I think it's going to be 10 yards.
Or half the distance.
10 yards from the spot of the foul, but they're going to end up marking it right back to around the 8-yard line. So they do mark off 10 yards.
Yep.
So second and 22 for Anderson County. 4:18 to go. Clock on the move here in the third quarter. Again, your score, Parsons 13, Anderson County 6. And Anderson County hasn't had much success at all throwing the football, but they're going to throw right now. Kuser looking, finds a man on a short route, and it's going to be a pickup, but a very short pickup.
Man, we were swarmed all over that. That was Cam Kendrick.
So nice job again by the Viking defense. They're going to give him a few more yards than I thought. That ball spotted out across the 12-yard line, but still third and a long ways to go for Anderson County. Ball spotted just across the 12, and they have to get to around the 30. Third and about 17 and a half yards to go. And I don't know, Anderson County, I don't even know if they'd take a shot down the field at this. They're so far backed up. They are going to throw, go over the middle, and it's caught, and it's a first down, I believe. It is very close. Depends on where the knee touched. Yeah, they're going to give it to him, I believe.
That was caught by Reese Katzer. He's a senior tight end.
So Anderson County with a huge pickup on third and long. Ball spotted right at the 30, and that's right where they needed to get to.
And we need to stop there, and we would have gotten really good field position and chance to add to that lead. But now
that's the biggest play of the game so far by the Anderson County offense. Kuser has one running back behind him, and a jet sweep coming to the near side. Nowhere to go, but he cuts back.
Oh, man.
And going to be thrown for a loss. That was Blaufus on the carry. And another great job by that swarming Viking defense. I'm going to spot the ball around the 27, I believe, so a loss of about 2 or 3 yards on the play. Clock continuing to move. 2:10 to go in the third quarter. Parsons leading this contest 13-6. For about the first quarter and a half, it looked like Parsons may run away from Anderson County, but Anderson County right in the thick of things.
Wow.
I'm not sure what that play was supposed to be. I think it was going to be a quarterback keeper, but Kuser didn't have a chance at all.
Sam Brewer.
And that may end up going down officially as a sack because he gets tackled back at the inside the 25 on the 22 or 23-yard line. So now Anderson County finds themselves going in the wrong direction. They have to get all the way to the 40-yard line. Now they picked up a 3rd and 17.
Yep, same
just
thing.
A few plays ago, and that's where we're at again. Hit their big tight end over the middle. They have 4 receivers, 3 to the right, 1 to the left. Kuser takes the snap, rolls to the right. He's under heavy pressure, running for his life, fires, and it is incomplete. So a nice job by the Viking defense.
Scott, I didn't even see it. Anderson County player anywhere near to where he threw that ball.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I mean, I had this post in my way, but I did not see anyone anywhere close to that ball.
So Vikings ran a punt back for a touchdown in the first half, but it was erased by a penalty. Jesse Jones, Deion Sylvester standing on their own 40-yard line. Gailey does a little bit of everything for Anderson County. Standing on his own 11, takes the snap. Kick is away. Pretty good kick. Bouncing out of bounds inside the 40. And the Vikings will take over right around their own 37-yard line. Exactly 1 minute to play in the third quarter. Been a quick quarter, just one possession for each team. I think Coach Scheibe and the Vikings will feel a lot better about things if they can get in the end zone on this drive, because they've, other than hurting themselves with penalties and a couple of turnovers, I mean, the Vikings have certainly appeared to be the stronger team, but just can't get any separation from Anderson County. Still 13-6, Parsons on top. Trey Mack lined up in the pistol. Washington is the running back. They put Sylvester in motion. They give it to Washington. Nice piece of running at the 40, 45. Going to be short of the first down, but it's another nice pickup of 8 or 9 yards. Coach Scheibe has to be so pleased with Washington's performance, along with the performance of his defense.
Must be a penalty. Not sure what's going on.
Yeah,
here.
I'm not sure either.
I don't see any flags.
No.
They're measuring for a first down.
I think he's a little bit short, but they are going to bring out the sticks. Clock stopped with 42 seconds to go in the third quarter. Parsons leading at 13-6. That's where we were at halftime. And back on Friday night, Parsons had an 18-yard run by Washington. And then earlier this afternoon, they had a 13-yard run by Sylvester. And I stand corrected. He did get enough for the first down by about half the length of the football. So Parsons will have a first down from their own 47-yard line. In case you missed it, the only score this afternoon for Anderson County is a 73-yard interception return by Gailey.
Hey, Scott, unofficially, just by what I have, is we've held them to 45 yards.
Yeah, that's an outstanding effort by the Viking defense. 1st and 10, there's the snap. They give it to the big man Washington. He's into Anderson County territory, right around
yards.
The 46.5-yard line, it looks like. So another nice pickup on first down by Washington. You know, if Parsons, it looks like they're going to let the clock run out here and go into the fourth quarter with a 7-point lead. But, Tony, if they can go down and score on this possession and have a 2-touchdown lead and Washington continue to eat up yardage like that, it is going to make life very difficult for Anderson County. It's going to be really hard for them to come back from a two-touchdown deficit. Excuse me. We have reached the end of quarter number 3 with your score. Parsons 13, Anderson County 6. We'll be back in 1 minute. This is Viking football on V93.
It's been said that to have a great team, you have to perform at a consistently higher level than others. Here at Wood-Doolahary Insurance, we feel that holds true for us as well.
Whether home, auto, farm, or business, our team stands ready to help you find the right coverage at the right price.
Ready? Break! Put the Wood-Doolahary team to work for you, serving the entire 4-state area.
Proud partner of Auto Owners Insurance.
It could happen any time or place. You feel a tickle in your face. You move your arm feels weak. The words won't come when you try to speak. Folks may think it's all a joke, but it ain't no joke. It's a stroke. Face, arm, speech, time. That smells fast.
Better call 911.
At Strokes First Sign. Time means brain, so don't waste time. Time means brain, so don't waste time. Act fast. Face, arm, speech, time. Act fast. Face, arm, speech, time. Act fast.
In an emergency, take me to Labette Health.
Welcome back to Marvel Park, everybody. Scott Marlowe, Tony Fuentes with you. Drew Fuentes taking care of our live video stream this afternoon. And Amanda Head pushing all the buttons for us back in the KLKC studios. 12 minutes to play as we get ready for the start of quarter number 4. Vikings leading at 13-6. They are facing a 2nd and 4 from the Anderson County 46-yard line. Trey Mack puts Jones in motion. They give it to Washington, going over the right side, fighting for yardage. They stand him up, I think, just shy of the first down. They shove him all the way back to the 50-yard line, but Forward Progress actually has it around the 44-yard line of Anderson County. What do you think, Tony? 3rd and 1 coming up?
It looks like 3rd and 1. Well, unofficially, Washington had 127 yards through 3 quarters.
That's a big-time game for the sophomore. Everybody expecting Washington to get it on 3rd and 1. We'll see what Coach Scheibe wants him to do. Sure enough, right up the middle, and he's got enough for the first down to the 40-yard line. And, you know, we've been giving Washington his due, as we should, but let's talk about that offensive line. You know, you can't get over 100 yards in 3 quarters without a lot of help from your offensive line.
Well, Scott, you got probably 4 or 5 guys playing both ways on the line.
Mm-hmm.
So we're talking about a defense that's held them to unofficially 45 yards and an offense that's now got Washington up to 135 yards rushing. I mean, that's impressive.
There's the snap. Washington, just a workforce. Gets through a hole on the left side.
Or he would have been a lot further.
Gets inside the 35 down to the 34. Another nice pickup. And
6 yards there.
Yeah, that's just, that's just huge. The Vikings haven't been able to do that in years past. They're to get that kind of yardage on the ground on first down. 2nd and 4 is much more manageable than 2nd and 9 or 2nd and 10, or sometimes even getting a penalty on first down.
Scott, that's 5 straight rushes by Washington on this drive.
Just over 10 minutes to go in the
29
game.
29 yards.
That's spectacular. Oh, a fumble this time, and it's going to be recovered by Anderson County. I think they were going to give it to Washington again. Or there was some miscommunication. It got through the hands of Trey Mack, and yet another turnover on the Vikings, and it's going to be up to that Viking defense to hold again. Anderson County has done what they've had to do to stay in this game, forcing several turnovers on the Vikes. I mean, some of them have been self-inflicted by Parsons, but Anderson County only down by 7 points despite being dominated statistically in this game by the Vikes. Gooser looks over the defense. We have exactly 10 minutes to go in the game. Going to be a quarterback keeper. Gets across the 40, falls forward to the 44. It's going to be a pickup of about 3. And, given the fact that Anderson County had their point after blocked earlier in the game, if they are able to get into the end zone, Tony, I wouldn't be a bit surprised if they went for a 2-point conversion and went for the lead.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. Penalties and turnovers are just a killer.
Ball spotted just shy of the Anderson County 45-yard line. 2nd and 7 for the Bulldogs. 9:20 to go in our game. Parsons leading at 13-6. There's the snap to Cooser, running play right up the middle, and falling forward to about the 50-yard line. I believe it was Jack Crane. So it's going to be 3rd and about 1.5 yards, and we have an injured Viking right at midfield. Unable to see a number. 9 minutes to go in our game. Parsons leading at 13-6. Again, Vikings will be at home again Friday night, hosting the Iola Mustangs. We'll be on the air at approximately 6:40 with our pregame show.
Yeah, it'd be absolutely devastating if somehow they score here and take the lead, and then we can't get anything going to lose this game because we've dominated it.
Yeah, at one time it looked like the Vikings were going to go up 3 scores back in the first half, go up at least 19-0, and it didn't play out that way. And Vikings have cleaned up the penalties here in the second half compared to what they had back in that second quarter. Unfortunately, another turnover has given new life for Anderson County. I think that's Sam Brewer.
Yep, Sam Brewer. He's
big kid, 6'5", sophomore, 303 pounds.
Yeah, he had a sack on that previous defensive stand.
Good news is he's walking off under his own power. He looks a little woozy though. Coach is talking to him as he heads to the sidelines. So 3rd and 1 for Anderson County. Looks like Cooser will stay in the pistol. I'll be shocked if the running back, Fisher Gailey, doesn't get the call here. If they were going to try a play-action pass, this might be the time too, but they do give it to Gailey, and he's got the first down into Viking territory. So a new set of downs for the Bulldogs. Clock stopped temporarily at 8:54 to go in quarter number 4. Vikings 13, Bulldogs 6. Anderson County on the move now. Ball spotted just shy of the Viking 47-yard line. The Viking defense has been outstanding in this ball game. Again, they are actually shutting out Anderson County as the Anderson County score came on an interception. Pitch play to the left side. It's Gailey again. He's still on his feet. That's a nice pickup. He's into the secondary down to the 30-yard line. Best run of the day by Gailey of Anderson County, and all of a sudden, people are getting a little nervous here at Marvel Park.
And Gailey's the one that had that interception return for the touchdown, the 75-yarder.
Yeah, he's kind of put Anderson County on his back. Ball all the way down to the Viking 28-yard line. It's really the first big play that the Vikings have given up on defense other than that 3rd and 17 conversion that Anderson County had. Now we have a timeout called by the Viking defense. First timeout called by either team here in the second half. So we're at 7:56 to go in the game. Parsons leading Anderson County 13-6. We'll step away for a 30-second break and be right back. You're listening to Viking Football on V93.
It's been said that to have a great team, you have to perform at a consistently higher level than others. Here at Wood Doolahary Insurance, we feel that holds true for us as well.
Whether home, auto, farm, or business, our team stands ready to help you find the right coverage at the right price.
Ready? Break! Put the Wood Doolahary team to work for you, serving the entire 4-state area.
Proud partner of Auto Owners Insurance.
And welcome back to Marvel Park, everybody. Scott Marlowe and Tony Fuentes with you. 7:56 to go in our ball game. Parsons leading at 13-6. Again, if you're joining us late, Parsons statistically has dominated this game. However, a few turnovers and way too many penalties has opened the door for Anderson County, and they are just 28 yards away from possibly tying this game. They try to run up the middle on first down, and it goes nowhere. Viking defense wasn't going to have any of that. It's actually a short loss on the play. So 2nd and 11 coming up for Anderson County from the Viking 29-yard line. This will be 4-down territory at this point for Anderson County. So they still have 3 plays to work with. Bulldogs break out of the huddle. They'll send Braden Blaufus to the near side. They have Gailey in the backfield as the lone running back. There's the snap. They're going to give it to Gailey coming to the near side. And he is met by a couple of Viking defenders and taken down at the 30-yard line.
Looks like Trey Russ was in on that stop there. Cade Brown.
And I would think now, Tony,
they might have to throw.
They may have to throw on 3rd down, and if they don't get it, throw again on 4th down, depending on how the 3rd down play plays out. But
Gailey goes out. Crane comes in.
With Gailey on the sideline, pretty good chance this is going to be a run. Crane will probably be in there as an extra blocker. Sure enough. But
oh no.
Quarterback in trouble. He's going to be sacked back at the 35.
Might be Hunter Brownwell. Yep, Hunter Brownwell.
On the sack.
Nice job by the big 6'4" senior, making a big play for the Viking defense. So the ball spotted now at the 30, right around the 34-yard line of Parsons.
About 4th and 15 maybe.
Yeah, they have to get inside the inside 15. The 20-yard line. So it's about 4th and 15.
This is the game pretty much.
Yeah, this is by far the biggest play of the game for both teams. Anderson County is going to call a timeout. 5:49 to go in our game. Parsons 13, Anderson County 6. We'll take another 30-second break. This is Viking Football on V93.
Hey Parsons, I'm Anna. This is Raven. We're the Anna and Raven Show, and we can't wait to wake you up on Variety 93.5.
We're the show that's all about relationships. So if it's going on at home, at work, in your life, we want to know about it.
Also, every day a couple joins us for Couples Court. They tell us what their disagreement is about, and then it's up to you to decide who's right.
Want to win cash? You can challenge me daily in pop culture trivia. It's called Can't Beat Raven. Beat me, and you get the jackpot.
Get ready to laugh, Labette County. We're the Anna and Raven Show on Variety 93.5.
The Anna and Raven Show.
Welcome back to Marvel Park, everybody. Big play coming up in this ball game. 5:49 to go in the fourth quarter. Parsons leading at 13-6. Anderson County was driving for what would potentially be a tying or go-ahead touchdown, but now the Bulldogs find themselves facing a 4th and 15 from the Viking 34. Viking fans on their feet encouraging the Parsons defense. There's the snap. It is going to be a pass play as expected, and is going to be broken up around the 20-yard line. I believe that was Deion Sylvester making the hit. That would have been enough yardage, I believe, for a first down. It would have been close, and it is a turnover on downs. Big play by the Viking defense. 5:44 to go in our game. Both teams have 2 timeouts remaining, so the game, we got a long ways to go. But Tony, if Washington can keep churning out yardage like he has, and the Vikings can move the chains, and most importantly, the Vikings not shoot themselves in their foot with penalties and turnovers, they may be able to escape with a Week 1 win. There's the snap. They give it to Washington to the near side. He thought he fumbled it, but he hangs on and falls forward to about the 39-yard line. He is just too strong and too powerful for this Anderson County defense.
Yeah, he should have been stopped for a loss there, and he picks up 5. I mean, that's either he's strong or their defense is just gassed. I mean, but he's been doing it the entire game, so I mean, it's not. I think he's just that strong.
So Washington and Mack just now getting back out on the field from the sideline. 8 seconds on the play clock. Vikings facing a 2nd and 5. 5 minutes to go in our game. Vikings lead by 7. They give it to the big man again. Washington, he powers forward, falls forward now, short of the first down. He's up to about the 42-yard line. I'm going to call it 3rd and 2 coming up for the Vikes. And, I mean, Tony, you hate to, be quote-unquote unpredictable is what I'm trying to say. You don't want to be too predictable in your offense, and yet if the defense can't stop it, why change? And Washington,
I wouldn't be surprised to see like a jet sweep from Sylvester here, though, just to change it up.
So what Coach Scheibe wants to do on 3rd and 2. Vikings have the ball on their own 42. There's Jesse. It's going to be a quarterback keeper, and it's going to be broken up. Whatever that was, it's going to be a disaster for the Vikes as Mack is thrown back at the 25-yard line. So they did try to change it up, Tony, and that did not work out well at all for the Vikes.
I don't know what the heck that was.
Again, I don't know if it was a busted play or what. At first when I saw Jones go in motion, I thought maybe it was going to be a jet sweep. But
it's definitely about the worst case scenario.
Yeah, and sometimes coaches can outcoach themselves sometimes. But no doubt Anderson County was expecting Washington to get the ball. Punt may have been partially blocked, but it's still going to be a halfway decent punt. And goes out of bounds at the Anderson County 45-yard line. So they've got at least one more crack at it here, Tony. They'll have to go 55 yards. They have plenty of time, 3:25 and 2 timeouts. So the Viking defense is going to have to make one more stand. And Anderson County, they need the 3:25 and the 2 timeouts because they haven't really shown the ability to, they don't have a lot of big playmakers.
Defense going to have to stand up one more time.
Anderson County offense hustles up to the line of scrimmage. One receiver split out to the far side. Man goes in motion. They give it to him on a little sweep. He's looking for room and can't find it. And he is absolutely demolished inside the 40-yard line as this Viking defense continues to shine. Clock on the move. We're approaching the 3-minute mark of the fourth quarter. We have had no scoring here in the second half. Dallas Cooser gets the offense up to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 15 Anderson County is going to have to think about putting the ball in the air, and they will on this second down play. They come to the near side. It is lost out of bounds, incomplete. And 3rd and 15 coming up. And this will definitely be 4-down territory, even though Anderson County has 2 timeouts left. I'm assuming at this stage in the game they will go ahead and go for it on 4th down. So they don't have to pick up the entire 15 yards on this play, but, Tony, you know they want to pick up at least half of it.
Exactly.
We'll see how much pressure the Vikings want to bring. Obviously, we haven't seen a lot of blitzing from the Vikes because Anderson County hasn't put the ball in the air very much tonight, but the few times that they have gone to the air, they've really struggled, and they just had to burn a timeout. You know that's not what Anderson County wanted to do because the clock was stopped anyway. But obviously they weren't on the same page, and at this stage in the game, they got to make sure they have a decent play on 3rd and 15. 13-6, Vikes lead by 7. We'll be back in 30 seconds. This is Viking football on B93.
High school sports fans, follow your team live with the free ScoreStream mobile app. Just download ScoreStream to get real-time scores, photos, and awesome video from your game and your rivals. Plus, follow your favorite teams and friends. Get real-time high school sports from ScoreStream.
Well, we're getting down to crunch time here at Marvel Park. 13-6, Vikes lead by 7. 3rd and 15 coming up for Anderson County as they desperately try to figure out a way to go down and get this game tied or potentially even take the lead on a 2-point conversion. They're going to put the ball in the air over the middle, and it's going to be nearly intercepted. It's broken up, and the Vikes need to come up with one more stop.
There's no penalties.
Cade Brown, the sophomore linebacker, got a hand on it. And yeah, you're exactly right, Tony. No penalties needed.
Yeah, Cade Brown had that big interception Friday night right before the suspended play. About had a second one.
We saw Anderson County earlier this half pick up 17 yards on 3rd and 17, so we know they're capable of it, but I tell you, they have not had much success throwing the football tonight. 4th and 15, here we go. Quarterback in big trouble, racing to the near side, and he is just going to get forced out of bounds, and the Viking defense has come up huge once again. And we may have an injured Viking.
Isaiah Tyson looks like he...
Boy, and the coach ran over. I thought the coach was running over to congratulate him on a great play, but he must have seen something that I didn't, because I think he knew right away that an injury had occurred. I hope it's nothing
Looked like
too
his foot
serious.
got caught, but I think he's all right.
2:25 left on the clock.
He's up. He's good.
So good news for the Vikes all the way around. 2:25 to go in the game. Vikes leading at 13-6. Vikes will have it 1st and 10 on the Anderson County 33. I don't know about you, Tony, but I predict a running play to Mr. Washington.
I would hope so.
Sure enough, Washington up the middle, 30, 25.
They're trying to strip it. He
Yeah,
almost got a first down. He got 9 yards.
Only one timeout left for Anderson County. And I really wouldn't be surprised if the Vikes end up scoring a touchdown right here because, like you mentioned, they were trying to strip the ball.
Yeah.
And also that defense has to be extremely tired for Anderson County. And I wouldn't be surprised if Washington ends up breaking one here with under 2 minutes to go and puts this game away. Mack smartly letting the play clock wind down. Minute 40 to go in the game. It's a man in motion, but they give it to Washington up the middle, down to about the 20-yard line. That's enough for a first down. And that will stop the clock briefly.
Pretty smart there. Because they should be able to kneel it now.
And with only one timeout left for Anderson County. And they're not going to use it yet. I assume they'll use it after this first down play by the Vikes. Parsons just standing around, letting that play clock tick down. It's at 15. The game clock is now at 1:10. So it looks like we're going to have a scoreless second half, which is just fine with the Vikings if it means they can get out of here with a win tonight.
The Vikings are going to call timeout.
Yep, the Vikings let that play clock run down to 1 second and then burn their second timeout of the half. Under a minute to go in our game. Parsons leads at 13-6. We're going to take another 30-second break, and we'll be right back. You're listening to Viking Football on V93.
It could happen any time or place. You feel a tickle in your face. You move your arm feels weak. The words won't come when you try to speak. Folks may think it's all a joke, but it ain't no joke. It's a stroke. Face, arm, speech, time. That spells fast.
Better call 911.
At Strokes First Sign. Time means brain, so don't waste time. Time means brain, so don't waste time. Act fast. Face, arm, speech, time. Act fast. Face, arm, speech, time. Act fast.
In an emergency, take me to Labette Health.
Parsons Vikings less than 1 minute from getting a victory here in their opening game of the season. They have it 1st and 10 from the Anderson County 21-yard line, and Parsons leading at 13-6. And Anderson County only has one timeout remaining, so the Vikings have to make sure that they take care of the football. Snap and a kneel down by Mack. Is Anderson County going to bother using their final timeout? Tony, it doesn't look like it.
This ball game.
So the Vikings will need to snap the ball one more time. Crowd here at Marvel Park giving the kids a standing ovation for their effort. Boy, the defense was just outstanding tonight. And Tony, we got to tip our hats to Anderson County too. I think they were outmatched tonight, but they did what they had to do to keep it close. Their offense just could not get into the end zone against that Viking defense. This will be the final snap of the game. Mack stays in the pistol. There's the snap, and he kneels down, and that is going to do it. The Parsons Vikings hang on, and they knock off Anderson County 13-6. We're going to take a 3-minute commercial break, and then we'll be back with our Bowen Pharmacy postgame show. You're listening to Viking Football on V93.